This video is being produced to assist Tampa Sailing Squadron members in the proper operating procedures for boat haul-out, pressure washing, sanding, and painting of sailboats. The system is designed to be used in a manner that keeps us current with our EPC conditions, our permit, and so this is to help us meet that criteria. Your sequence of operations will begin by coming into the clubhouse and getting the key that is hanging with the floaty next to it. There are two keys on this ring. The larger key operates the hazardous waste barrel to the back shed, and the smaller key is what turns on the system to operate all the pumps and winches. When this system begins, you'll return from the clubhouse with the key and go up to the control panel. Open the control panel. The small key turns the system on. There will also be a large power start button, and we'll detail that shortly. Then as you walk back down the ramp, always ensure that the weight of the cable or the rail car is contained by the chain. The cable itself can be lying on the concrete to be less of a safety hazard. As you travel down, we have gates across the rail, so that those gates have to be removed anytime the rail car is going to be moved. They also have to be back in place when the rail car is secure, because that's part of our environmental control. Everything that falls on this ramp must go into the hazardous waste barrel. Again, that's part of our permitting best management practice. When you come back from the clubhouse to begin using the system, you will find several signs that have been developed to help you use the system correctly. About car maintenance, about the pressure washer. The information about the rail car loading is another system that's being developed to help people do it correctly. Probably one of the most critical signs up there, though, says check wash valve morning and night. This is critical for us to keep our permit, and we will talk about that check valve later in the series. As you approach the control panel, open it up. The small key will go into the key switch, be turned on, be turned on. There you go. And then you press the main power button, and that makes everything alive on the control panel that you are allowed to touch. As you look at the control panel, also make sure that for the rail, there's a rail car pressure switch, pump switch right in the middle. Make sure that's in the off position. That switch will be used to control the rail car. When it's pointed to the rail car, it'll be used to power up the pressure washer pump when it's in that position. When it's in the rail car position, then you have the control of the rail car using the push to start button, and below that the stop button. We require that the operator of the winch stays at the control panel or near it to be able to stop that car, because it's so heavy you need to have complete control over it. Below that is the down and up switch that will then control how the car moves one way or the other. As you get the power to the control panel, you will very often find the high seawater light is lighted, and that's because there's a float switch that controls the bay not coming into our drainage system and being pumped into our tanks. If that light is on, then go up and hit the reset. The light goes out, and what that does is reset the pump down in the lower sump that then pumps that water to the upper sump. As you can see on the control panel right now, the upper sump high water indicator is not on. If it is on, the note up there about if this light is on, press and hold the push test pump 1 until the light goes out, which is up in the upper left hand corner there. That then pumps the water to the tanks and resets the lower pump. Now that you have the switches set to turn on the rail car, Go ahead and flip that switch over and hit the start button. And we're going to simulate then, hit the stop button.
Hit the stop button.
Yes. And then we require the operator then to go over by the cable. And we have a section of wood that the operator will then use to help guide the guide wheel to ensure that the cable does not overlap as it's being rewound. Should the cable overlap, you will be required to reset back down, get the overlap out, and then bring the cable back up. And again, anytime you bring the car back up, you need to put the chain back on and then let the cable back down and to ensure that the cable is carrying the load. After you have the pressure washer selected and you've checked to make sure the water is coming through the gun, then hit the pressure washer start. Now you should have full pressure washer capability. When you're finished using the pressure washer, come back and hit the stop button on the pressure washer. Then go back to the gun and make sure, no, don't turn that off yet.
I thought you would turn that off too and then take all the pressure
nope.
off.
Thank you. You've now completed the actions of the pressure washer system.
Okay.
Again, these plates perform the function of keeping everything on the wash pad. We are now going to demonstrate the method of cleaning the filters in each of the drains and how to clean those filters into the hazardous waste barrel in the back of the shed. The process begins by removing the grate. Generally, they lift out easily. Sometimes you might need something to pry them up. There are then two funnel type pieces that need to be removed. You can then reach down and get a hold of the basket, bring out the entire basket, and then we will take that back to our hazardous waste barrel. We will then come back, unlock the key to the hazardous waste barrel. The barrel will generally have a lid on it, which you will remove, and then taking the green filter material, shaking it out, and then coming back to the sink where we will do further cleaning of the filter material. And again, it's critical to the EPC that that door is always locked. This sink, use the cold only, because that's the only one that has water to it. Use this to thoroughly rinse the green filter fabric and also the basket itself. All this water then is directed back into our pumping system, again to maintain the concept that everything that happens around here will meet our permitting requirements of controlling hazardous waste. Once the filter is clean, then you reverse the process of putting it back in the basket. there's a slot in the basket that will enable you to put the basket in around the conduit that provides power to the pump. And then we will now complete the cleaning of one more filter. We are now going to demonstrate the cleaning of the filter that feeds the water pump that goes to the pressure system. Turn the valve off to the tank. You then hand unscrew the cartridge. Inside is the filter itself. Take both pieces over to the sink, clean them out. There's a toothbrush there to get to the final interior filter. Then screw the canister back in place. And tighten, yes, and then turn the valve back on to the tank. Generally, this will then, as I don't know if you can notice it or not, but you can see the water flowing back into the filter. And that completes all of the after-action filters that need to be cleaned.
Ensure plates are returned to slots. Done. Check for paint chips that may have escaped the pad and dispose in hazardous waste barrel. That's done. Ensure the upper and lower sump filters are clean. Done. Ensure hazardous barrel door is locked. It's done. Make sure rail car is secured by chain and cables not touching the concrete. Done. Ensure rail car cable is not overlapped. We did that. Ensure that the control panel switches are up, down is neutral. It's in the neutral position. Rail car pressure washer switch is off. It's off. Ensure the washer rainwater valve is in the rainwater position. Ensure feed water filter is clean. We did that. Ensure the power washer hose is on the reel, which it is. Make sure the pressure is released on the pressure washer. We did that. Ensure rail car is rinsed by city water and coil the hose. That's been done. Ensure rail car wheels are greased. Still have to do that. Ensure the trash barrel is empty after dumping the dumpster. It's done. Turn the key and the hook to the Jesson to the trophy case inside the clubhouse. Report any discrepancy to dock master. Then put this checklist in the designated folder in the clubhouse.
We will now show the Zerk fittings of where you grease the wheels each time that you move the rail car. Also, when we talk about washing the cart down, we intend for you to use the city water hose because we don't want to spray salt water on the cart to clean it. So don't use the power washer, use the hose. And as we stated earlier, make sure the hose is rewound. This video is being shot to provide some background information on how to load a boat on the rail car. We're demonstrating the control panel, which is where the switches are set in order to run the rail car out. Someone needs to stay near the control panel anytime the cart is being moved. One of the aspects of the rail car is that when you first get to it, you have to pull the car up a little bit, disconnect the chain, and then run the car out. Also make sure that the steel plates have been removed.
There you go. Come on, when he gets to gather this, I'll give it a talk. What do you call that? I don't care if it gets wet, it's fine.
What kind of cushion can we put between here?
Those bumpers?
Okay.
The desired position for the boat is to have the mast in line with this forward post to tie it off.
I'm loosely tying the stern up because it's going to drop quite a bit. We're going to put a windlass against the mast to tie the bow to the boat.
We're putting bumpers between the cross braces so it doesn't run into the side of the boat. Shouldn't happen on this boat, it's not that wide. But just in case.
Do me a favor.
Yeah, what?
Hold the boat real quick.
Another bumper is being placed against the diagonals because that's more likely to stay in place. Brace right against that cross.
After we do this in sequence here, Kevin, take this and tie it around that beam. This is going to be a spring line. Go outside of the lifelines. It has to be down the deck there. Outside. Yeah, just like that. Now go around the beam. This will keep the boat from sliding back as the rail goes up. Okay, throw it all on the boat if you would. Good shot. Yeah.
Do you want that through the pulley?
No, I don't.
Start again.
Rope around the mast. Okay. You can do this any way you want, but I double it up. It's easier, not so much rope. Haha. Right around the base somewhere. Now we got to go back with the boat. Way back. You may have to go loosen the turquoise line, Kevin.
Okay, you got a choice of these. Choice of these.
I don't know. Long or short? A little shorter one, I think.
Okay.
Thank you. That's good right there, Kevin. Gotta go back a little further. Yeah, right about there. Okay, you want to hold it there, Kevin?
Do me a favor, pull the rope up, please.
Yeah, do you want any?
Pull what rope up?
Pull the rope up that's sliding down the pylon, please.
It'll be fine. Just leave it alone for right now. 1 second. Let me get this tied.
Snug it up when he gets done. What he's doing now is bringing tension on that line to secure the boat against the upright.
Maybe a little more. Okay. All right.
Please.
I don't know what I'm doing. That's the problem. Okay, so the boat is being pulled back that way. Am I doing this right? So, can't pull it forward. I gotta hold it back. Okay, so that's good. So we're gonna go over here with another line. Probably not going to reach, but I will. Yeah, it'll reach. Now we're going to pull the boat in position so it stays right where we want it.
Notice how we're keeping an eye on the cable. It has a tendency to overlap more when you're pulling the cart up than when you lower the cart down. By applying pressure to the idler wheel, you control the wrap. I also have a person on the stop button in case it does overlap. We'll have to back off and re-wrap it. If everything goes well, it will start to rewind properly. But this is just kind of a safe way to make sure that it does not overlap. This particular boat owner is making some adjustments to his supports. Notice also that he did have the bottom cleaned before he got on the car.
Kevin, let's move this last beam back